Hi there, welcome to Grimdark and Dicey, and welcome back to A Ballad of Ash and Blood, a series on the channel where a group of lifelong friends get together and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey! We're doing that actually right now.
She stole his line.
How does that make you feel?
Welcome back to the continuation of the campaign. Today we've got some more juicy stuff. Quickby, if you will.
Crispy.
Quickby. Let's go ahead and dive in
Dive on
to
in.
today's episode of A Ballad of Ash and Blood.
Let's get it.
And welcome back. When last we left off, our party had woken up to one of their companions, Briseis, who had gone missing in the middle of the night. After tracking his steps, which ultimately led to the mainland below the floating Nefritis Camp, the party engaged, sort of split up, and engaged in a bit of investigation to find their disappeared comrade. Inevitably, ending up in the bottom of the last oasis, this strange sort of arcane stone door engraved with the sigil of this shooting star, falling comet type iconography. That there.
Looks like a cookie.
Wookie.
Ultimately finding that engraved on the stone door that blocked your passage down below. To where you found a strange ritualistic cult inhabiting the underdepths. After witnessing a strange and macabre ritual, which ultimately ended in the untimely sacrifice of a small child, you guys suppressed the evildoers, located Briseis amongst the most of the other survivors, and kind of halted evil that day.
We may have won, but at what cost?
At what cost?
A child.
So that is where we kind of find ourselves today. You guys are still in the basement of the last oasis.
Let me get the character here.
Yeah, Sandrion's unconscious. Thea, I believe, was unconscious when we last left.
Briseis is unconscious.
Briseis is unconscious.
I didn't take 1 point of damage that entire.
I sure did.
That's because Maltiak and Sandrion soaked it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Argon was busy dancing with the dude in the middle, the dance master.
I fucked off to the side room.
Beat the shit out of him.
So we relocated Gregofor Maxis, who was the blacksmith, the dwarven blacksmith. You also located Cyanidel Perfloa, the elven mistress of the night.
Located them. I'm holding them.
What was the label you gave her?
I think it was
that's flattering.
respectful young
Harlot?
lady or something along those lines. Probably.
Lady of the Evening.
Lady
I
of the
believe.
evening, maybe
Yeah.
something along those lines.
Whore. Yeah, that
Whoa.
sounds right.
Duke!
Duke.
What are you gonna do?
Come on.
So that's where we kind of find ourselves again. The central sort of arcane well still spirals. This sort of toilet bowl flush of this metallic, shimmering blue goop in which the sacrifice was lowered into, and ultimately the source of Captain Commander Kaenix's demise.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Yeah.
Damn.
Retweet.
All of his.
If only he got some character moments.
So that's where we find ourselves.
Yeah.
The floor is yours. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna.
I will continue to be unconscious, actually. That's my move.
Excellent.
The person who I knocked unconscious, I want to disarm them of all
The
their weapons
cultist?
and then hogtie them.
So you kind of walk towards him, and you see this kind of dagger still in his grip. This kind of curved dagger. You kind of kick it out of his hand, 5 or so feet away from him, as it scatters across the stone floor, and tie both hands behind his back and tie him up at the ankles as well. What would the rest of you like to do?
Ooh, free knife.
I'm going to continue to assess Briseis' wounds.
Okay. Give me a medicine check. Are you trying to stabilize him, or you're just observing them?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure he ain't gonna die on me.
Does ours have his PhD?
He don't.
You have
He might.
He has a PhD, but it's not what you're
That's
thinking.
Dr. Aris now.
I'm actually a doctor of architecture.
Doctor in fermentology.
That is a
My degree's
he's
in
a bot-
optometry.
22.
22.
Oh,
How does that work?
21.
Does that bring him up a hit point or just stabilize him?
stabilized.
So, yeah. You kind of wrap a little bit of gauze around the bleeding head. Again, this giant kind of swollen red lump on his head where you can tell some sort of blunt force trauma.
Hematoma.
Was impacted amongst his skull, and you hear this kind of soft as you wrap up his wounds and
I'm gonna look to everybody else.
give him a little tap.
We need to get out of here.
I'm gonna scoop up the cultist and Thea, one in each arm.
Okay.
I will not respond to you as I am unconscious.
I'm gonna try to get Sandrian back up.
Okay.
I've already cauterized the wound, so
Okay.
I don't have any spells launched.
You can make a
Ah.
medicine check to stabilize. I thought you
Unfortunate.
would.
I was
Stable.
stabilized.
He
So
did.
he's already stabilized. He's not
Can't wake
slipping.
him up.
He
Not
can.
unless you have heal spells or a healer's kit or something like that.
Ooh. Argon, will you grab him? Who do you?
I'm holding.
Oh, unconscious.
I'm
Other
holding
elf.
the elf lady and the dwarf guy.
Yeah, but he's awake.
Yeah, the dwarf
Oh,
is.
did he actually wake
he's-
up?
He's
Oh,
on his
okay.
feet, and
Oh,
he kind
then
of
I'll-
like looks toward you and. Oh, thanks for getting us out of that tight spot. Oh,
I'm gonna walk over to the pool of souls.
Goop?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna hold my lantern up and see if anything.
okay. So you expend an action,
happens.
and you see this bright red purple flare shoot out, and kind of cascade into the pool. Inside, you see. Like the Disney Hercules movies, the river Styx, basically,
Mhm.
like just souls kind of swimming around in there, beyond count.
Like in the first Scooby-Doo movie.
Yes, yeah, that's a good analogy too.
Yeah. Love that movie. It's not good though.
Okay, I'm gonna kneel down and try to like not
Get you a soup ladle.
not pray, but like try to speak to
Talk to it.
boss man.
Okay, what do you say?
Just I have found the souls. What do you wish of me now?
This sort of slow, distant, creeping whisper kind of enters your ear. You have done well, Thomas. Await further instructions.
I'm gonna try to
That's not
try to
good.
scoop some of this goop up in a little
Drink it, no balls.
in a little thing.
Give me
I'm gonna
Just
tie a
a-
string around it and like dip it in there so my hands aren't getting all.
okay. It is moving quite volatilely. Volatilely.
How about we try that
vicious.
again?
It's pretty unstable.
Most
So
quickness.
it's.
Then I probably wouldn't.
Most
Okay.
quickly.
I was gonna say you could do it. It would just require like a dex, just a generic dex check to be able to kind of avoid the pool.
And if I fail that, there goes my
It
concentration.
would hurt your arm.
Yeah.
Spheres of Annihilation exist for a reason, kids.
All right. Dex check, you said?
Damning awful.
Yeah.
Uh oh.
The dwarf kind of like continues and looking towards you. You ever find out what that lady was doing in there?
Who's he talking to?
Just kind of the group at large.
I am going to ignore him and hoist Bersays over my shoulder and start walking towards the door.
And you kinda head out.
Shitty.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
6.
6. Give me a Constitution save.
I don't know why I rolled the green one. I need to roll the orange one.
So you know how you had an arm? Emphasis on had.
15.
15.
Oh, 16.
16. So you kind of dip. What receptacle are you using to
What'd you call me?
He's picking it up. with his hands.
contain this stuff?
I just got like a little Urban Meyer flask. Just dipping it in there.
Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer?
I don't
right.
think that's accurate.
Is he in
That's-
Jacksonville?
Yes, exactly.
So you got it-
actually not anymore.
You go to dip this kind of flask into the swirling goop, and you see it like go into the receptacle, and you kind of like pick it up, and you see the bottom just kind of like acid just starts kind of dripping out of the bottom.
Man, through glass, that's tough.
Gross.
That horned lady spent a lot of time in the office across from us.
Office.
I know we should be talking to him, but it would just be really funny if we just don't recognize him this entire
I didn't hear you down there.
I'm gonna drop that and look at the dwarf.
You have a large beard for a child.
I'm not a child.
What was that about, an office?
I don't know. I know she spent a lot of time there, the horned one. But
Do you know where it's at?
across from the jail cells, we can take a look, but
We should check it out for more information.
We should really get Thea and Briseis and Sandra to safety, too.
well, if you all will have a look, I can take them upstairs, perhaps, and wait for you in the basement.
Me and ours could probably check out the office while you guys go on ahead.
I will take these elves
It could be
upstairs.
good information.
I'll go with him. You should come with us. It's dangerous down
Oh,
here.
aye.
Yeah. How long have you been down here, anyway?
There's not exactly windows or a lot of sunlight.
So no short time.
Oh, it felt like a while. Maybe a week. My best guess.
Come see the sun again. It'll be good for you.
Aye, lead on. I don't know how I got down here. I kind of woke up.
Yeah. I'll lead the way of us, our party going
So,
upstairs.
forgive me, who's staying down here? You two?
I don't have an option.
Those two are unconscious.
I'm unconscious.
Oh, so the three of you then.
No,
Oh, no, no,
he's being carried by him.
I'm carrying Cendrillon and the other elf lady.
Okay, so
Me and ours
you
are,
and ours.
are going to
I
go check
needed
out the
names.
office for
Okay.
information.
Everyone kept saying you. You is staying.
Me.
It's like
Why don't you understand? It's them!
Who is on second base?
Respect my pronouns.
So the lot of you guys head upstairs with the disappeared people, the kidnappees,
And the cultist.
and the cultist. Taros and Aris continue back into the hallway and back into the dark jail cell. As you enter the room, again you see these black iron bars. I imagine you're kind of using your lantern for generic lighting. You see these black iron bars, this kind of like 20 by 10 jail cell that is kind of littered with some blood stains and the manacles of the kidnappers who were kind of broken out. To your left, there is a small wooden door and a bookshelf perpendicular to it on the opposite wall of where you guys stand.
We should go through the door.
I agree.
You kind of open it up, and it swings open. And you enter into a similar square room with a simple and kind of worn down wooden desk and a small stool behind it. Across the desk, kind of sprawled out, are a series of papers. And you see distinctly your lantern kind of catches the like gleam of a small dagger that is like stuck into the table, into one of the most central papers that's kind of sprawled out across the kind of like a mat. Like it's set down, and then there's other stuff kind of staggered on top of it, daggers sticking out of the bottom paper. What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to inspect the papers on the top of the desk.
Classy.
See what they say. If it's like a map.
As you approach, it is indeed the map of the known world of Theros. However, there are certain areas and locations that are kind of
Bless you.
circled. As you look, the Black Coast in particular, which is kind of the northeasternmost body of water, once you get outside of the United Kingdoms, towards the Draconora, which is the barbarian homeland. It's kind of that separating body of water. That's kind of circled with this red ink. To the west, there is the province of Malistar, which is circled. And then to the southwest of the United Kingdoms, the dagger, ting, stuck on a location called the Attic Hills.
Interesting. I'm gonna pull the knife out.
Give me a
And roll it.
investigation checks if you're sifting through it. That's the only thing that's like immediately visible.
I'm gonna roll the map up and put it in my
Okay, you've done so.
thing. Oh,
There are
there's a
other like
roll
small kind of.
investigation.
Yes, if you're both looking, you
I
can.
got a 14.
I have a 19.
19. So, like I was saying, there are some other like incoherent scribblings and markings, certain iconography that you're just kind of unable to discern. But you kind of roll that map up, tuck it away. 14,
19.
19. As you both kind of like ruffle and quickly inspect some of the other loose papers on the desk, there is a series of like several reports of like missing ships that have either disappeared or were reported as plundered in the Black Coast. And you pull one of amongst this kind of packet, there is a smaller, like torn square piece of paper, and it's got this illustration of what looks to be like a noose. It's just this black illustrated like noose that's kind of related to the plunderings, the pirateering, if you will. Also amongst them, there is a written report from one Arathor Kingswell on the finding of some sort of vault and the progress his men are making in sort of excavating and trying to open it. It's just this sort of brief letter reporting his progress. And as you're, again, kind of rifling through the drawers, you find a small leather pouch. I assume you open it and look at its contents.
Of course.
There is a small quartz crystal, 30 gold pieces, a handful of rose petals, and 7 human teeth.
I will take that little leather pouch and tie it to my head.
Okay.
Do we
Now that
both
you
see
have
what's in
30
it?
gold.
It's up to you guys.
Hey, there's teeth in here.
There's teeth.
I'm not even gonna comment on it, actually. I'm just gonna keep looking.
But that's pretty much everything. Everything else is, aside from that, pretty much just 4 walls and a
And a
A
loot chest
floor.
in the corner. Appreciate that.
There is actually a small, like, tattered banner on the wall to the left of the desk. So as you guys walked into the room, it would have been to your right. As it kind of descends from the ceiling of this, of the same, like, shooting star iconography.
Interesting.
It's the same symbol that was on the commander's neck.
I think we should take as much information as we can off this desk and then burn the rest.
I agree. So pretty much all the stuff you're kind of like listing, I'm just gonna be like folding up, taking with me.
Stowing
We're gonna
away.
rip
Yeah.
that thing off the wall.
Okay, the banner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Drape it over the desk and light it on fire.
Okay. How, just, do you have like a tinder box or something like that? Okay.
I have an explorer's kit.
Okay. So you kind of, you know,
Don't have
flint
any-
and steel
don't have any
type deal.
magic.
So are you guys burning the evidence?
No, we've taken most of the
Oh,
evidence.
okay.
We're burning the rest because I don't.
Yeah, really
I don't
all
know
that's
what's
left is
happening
the stool, the desk, and the banner.
Yeah, fuck it.
And the teeth.
And the teeth.
And the teeth.
The teeth.
Did you leave the teeth
leaving
behind?
there?
No, he's got the
Duke
teeth.
has
No,
the
he's
teeth.
keeping
He's
the
keeping
teeth.
The teeth in the
was gonna
teeth,
say.
teeth in the pouch.
He's got standards.
Yeah, it's to replace the teeth of the people he
It's
kicks
to
in the
barter
face.
with orcs.
All right.
Those are
So
teeth.
the contents
Oh.
of that small room are now
Sorry.
ablaze as you
Hauling ass out
guys
of there.
exiting and heading back up.
Yep. And
Cool,
comes
cool,
out.
cool. So the lot of you, were you waiting for them to come back up, I assume?
I'm waiting on them because I'm unconscious.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we were just going up the bar.
So everybody's in the sort of bar area where, for the most part, everybody's cleared out. There is like 2 patrons that are still there, one at the bar and one kind of in the corner, still sort of nursing their own drink.
Any employees still there?
Nope.
I'm gonna go behind the counter and grab a few bottles of wine and liquor.
Okay. You do so.
Gotta hook my man up later.
Is the dwarf still here?
The dwarf is still with you, yes.
No. Is your name Gregorfor?
Aye.
I saw your name in one of the flyers.
I'd hope so.
Would you be willing to come and speak to the captain of Nefritis Guard, give him your take on all this?
My take?
You were captured.
Aye. I was mostly unconscious for most of it, but I'm not sure how much I could offer. I'd be happy to
it's worth
testify, but I don't know how helpful I'll be.
It's better than nothing.
Aye, then yeah.
Right. Well, are we wanting to stick around down here, or do we want to go back up?
We should probably
We
just
should
head
probably
up now.
head up, yeah.
Okay. We should give Thea and Briseis some medical attention, and Sandra too. So many names to say.
As they're all like out of the building, I'm going to try to. Is there any gold from
Cash register?
Yeah, cash register.
Make an investigation check.
Rat.
Ah.
I'm gonna wait till y'all leave though.
So everybody's exited the establishment. Give me a stealth check as well, Taurus.
Walking around outside. Taros, where did you go?
No one's there. I ain't trying to be sneaky, dog. You said investigation.
Yes.
What was that? 16.
16.
So it's an 18 with mods,
18.
and then you said
And then for
sneaky
stealth.
boy.
Yep.
Sneak.
Sneak check.
Sneak time.
19.
19. So nobody sees you kind of disappear from the pack
Naturally.
as you kind of hang back and you kind of like quickly vault over the edge of the bar and start looking through the contents of the shelving beneath, and you find this small little black metal lockbox, and you kind of give it a quick hit on the side as it opens up. There is 150 gold pieces.
Josh is
and-
gonna kill me later for this money.
and 200 silver pieces.
How much experience points did I get for that?
0.
God damn it.
You actually lost a level? What's the price?
I gained bad karma. That's what I did.
Everyone disliked that.
Full out bad karma.
And then you kind of return to the group. So where are you guys heading? Back to
Back to the camp, right?
Camp, yeah.
Zaharias? Okay.
That one's hot.
Back to the lab.
So you head back up the
I
winding
tell
main
nobody.
street of the
Just carrying bodies.
desert landscape. Yeah, so...
Anybody
I've got Briseis and like a fireman's Gary.
okay.
anybody react to that? Like
Not
just
really.
Hauling bodies in
At
the
this
streets
point,
like that?
most of the people have either returned to their own domiciles, or if they are still
house.
kind of in the streets, they're minding their own business. Like, we're beyond the point of engagement. Everybody's content to just watch in
A
silence.
couple of bloody figures just hauling
And-
bodies.
exactly.
They're like,
I think-
they got it.
I think 2 Goliaths holding 2 bodies
Yeah.
each is a bit of a, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, I mean, the town's been terrorized for almost a month now with disappearances. There was a huge scuffle at the bar, and now these bloody people are emerging with unconscious people. So they're gonna mind their own business.
I mean, that makes sense.
We probably
Sure.
should have took that tooth. Bang.
You got 8 of them.
Yeah.
The magical fang. I was scared if I touch it, it'd blow up.
So you guys head back to
Wasn't it like 1,000, like 8 feet
Markin,
tall?
who is
Pretty
the or no, I'm sorry, Marcus.
Marcus Brownlee.
Anyway, head back to Marcus, who is guarding the sort of air balloon. You see he's still kind of sitting on his stool, and he sees you guys coming back. Hey, what's up?
Is that not obvious?
You found them all.
Some of them.
Most of them. at least.
Most. Well, that's better than none.
I'm gonna step by him and step into the cage and set Briseis down on the ground. I'm just gonna turn him. Let's get moving.
We're heading back up to camp.
We got some people that need help.
All right. And he kind of starts the. This large air balloon begins to inflate and gently lift off the ground.
I'm gonna be staring out over the edge, just like kind of like a 1,000-yard stare.
Sure. Just still holding Briseis.
I set him down. I set him down like on
Oh,
the
so you-
on the basket. I'm just-
Okay.
How long does it take to go up? You said it takes like. a
Yeah, it's
decent
about
amount of
20
time?
minutes. You guys have doubled your load capacity there, so it's going to be a slightly
slower
longer.
climb.
About
Slightly
half an
longer.
hour.
Yeah.
I'll pull up the Lich book and start reading it. I guess just leaned up against it. Not too worried about that.
Sure.
I'm just gonna lean over to Argon when we're going up and kind of just like talk to him quietly. Just, I don't understand these people like I thought I would. They're nothing like the people back home.
They're nothing like people I've ever met. Oddities. Strange behaviors.
They're powerful. That's easy to say, but
Terrifying me.
methods are questionable.
Yes, the small folk are scary.
What do you think of them?
They draw power from odd places. They have odd senses of honor, I think, if that. They fight brutal, obviously, but I don't like it.
It's clear to me they don't honor fair play, but I think that's something only we really know.
It is strange and concerning.
Well, at least I have you to talk to about this.
Of the ritual down there, what do you think it did?
I don't know. But I can't believe I couldn't move my legs.
They just attacked you. One who could not attack back. It didn't make sense.
I knew people who would treat a child like that. I have no words. I'm just gonna kind of withdraw into myself for the rest of the journey.
Okay.
Wicked walking man. And I'm gonna just
I forgot all about that.
poke you in the head to get your attention.
Like as you poke me, you can see that I like kind of. What? Yes.
It looked as if you were somewhere else. Are you alright?
When your people got attacked, did anyone survive?
I don't know the answer to that question. My heart hopes yes, but my mind thinks no.
How do you live with that? That uncertainty?
You need to find strength to move on. Of my strength, I have knowing my ancestors chose me to avenge and to reclaim. For you, it must be something you walk with. Your fighting style, your creed, wherever you come from, whatever you fight for, you need to find something to hone in on.
I'm going to pull.
Take some inspiration for that. I'm giving you some inspiration for that.
I'm gonna pull my like my tankard out to take a drink, but there's nothing in it. I'll just kind of like. Pop. At least you have. At least you have something that keeps you going. I'm gonna turn my gaze back out into the vast nothingness.
Sure. Into the wind.
Can I make like a check to see if I saw this interaction, or can I just?
I mean,
we're in a
I'm not
relatively
being
small space.
subtle.
Okay, I'll see you go to drink something. Nothing's in there, so I'll hold out one of the bottles of rum that I confiscated for
Found.
stuff.
Quietly found.
Nicked.
And
I'm still just like looking at.
I'm gonna bump you with it.
Cork it. I'm an enabler. Big ol' swiggy swig.
Drinking rum at 9:30 in the morning does not make you an alcoholic. It makes you a pirate.
That's fair.
We are on a ship.
Like at least half the bottles downed.
Ooh, very good.
a
That's
lot.
impressive, actually.
It's a
'cause
lot
was-
of fucking rum.
Yeah.
It's
It
got,
was
a lot,
actually a keg that I found.
Spiced rum, like, ooh.
it's got a lot of demons.
Last thing I want to do on this ride. Oh, it's yours.
Back to me.
Can I
Fill my tankard.
make like a investigation check on this book that I'm reading? Because it's just nonsensical like writing. Can I try to like
Oh, yeah.
piece it together?
Oh, yes. You can absolutely try.
That
mean I
means
gotta
no.
go?
You may certainly try.
Roll a insight check
At disadvantage.
at disadvantage. Because it is like the incoherent ramblings of someone who had lost it a long time ago. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
thought they were making sense at the time.
If you were that kind
Two
of
nat
insane,
20s,
it makes
let's go.
sense.
Yeah.
But you gotta align your wavelength
Yeah.
of insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey!
How'd we do? 9.
This is my highest.
You're able, after looking at it for a while, this is the second or third time you've pulled the book out, yes?
I've been reading. I've been trying to read this book for like
So,
3, 4
things are
episodes.
beginning to, like, you see a bit of a pattern forming in the incoherencies, like phrases are popping up, and there's you're beginning to kind of connect the dots from, like, he was talking about something back on page 6, and now he's talking that type of deal.
I'm getting there.
Sort of. You're beginning to
There is
understand.
progress.
Yes, yeah. That you're
Okay.
beginning to decipher that this isn't just incoherent ramblings.
There's something. to
There's
it.
something there.
Okay.
There's something there.
The book is not written in order.
Very good.
Anything else anybody wants to do?
I will remain unconscious.
I would like to weep.
Okay. The dwarfen lad kind of looks at the lot of you. You'll do this thing pretty often.
What sort of thing?
Rescue people in distress.
This is a first for me.
Consider it a new occupation.
As the liquor is starting to get a hold of my tongue, I'm in Dwarvish going to say to him, do you find yourself in distress often?
Immediate shock, but one of a welcome familiarity. He speaks back to you in his mother tongue and says, gosh, what does he say to that?
Yeah, my eyes snap on you very, very fast.
Changes to Dwarvish,
Yeah.
starts just shaking coins.
He kind of looks back at
Now that you have
this-
money, you can speak Dwarvish.
this sort of curling smile, and he's like, no, not often. Again in Dwarvish. But when they get the drop in numbers and from behind, there's not a whole lot I can do about that.
Well, of course, and I'll extend my... I'll send Dwarvish and I'll extend the rum.
He
bottle
takes
to
it and takes a very long, like, single swig, and kind of
Nothing
gives
left.
it back. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much tapped.
I will polish it off, chuck it overboard.
Okay.
That's littering.
Don't care.
All right, let's argue again.
Good luck, people down there.
Okay.
You hear a soft thud followed by
My leg! So after about 25, 30 minutes, a lot of you find yourself on the, again, sort of elegantly engraved stone landing pad of the Nefritis Camp, stained with the sort of red sand that is the sort of biome of this place. You find yourself once again amongst the white parchment tents. What would you guys like to do?
Marcus,
Aris, can you take Thea? I'm going to take this cultist over to Zaharias.
When I go to step out of the basket, I will stumble a little bit, kind of put my hands on shit to stable myself.
Maybe I got it.
I can certainly try.
That means no.
You're reaching out for nothing.
Marcus, could you fetch for a healer?
Yeah. Yeah. And he kind of disappears. He's like thinking like who it is and where they would be at this time of day.
Just trying to say as little words as
And
possible.
he walks like 10 feet towards the right side of the tent, and then you see him like turn over back towards the left side. What are the lot of you guys doing?
remaining unconscious.
Stumbling.
Okay.
So, are you guys taking them to the healing tent?
I would probably take them to beds. And I know one
And we're
place where there are
getting a healer
beds.
for them?
And
Okay.
I sent Marcus to fetch for a healer. He's going to Zacharias with the...
I was going to, but I don't trust him to carry Thea, so
Wow. So he'll follow us then.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll let Thea down, and then we'll take him to Zacharias. Maybe you should lay down as well.
I am going to find the tavern wherever I was drinking last time. Wherever.
Okay. That was mostly a situation of happenstance. Like you just happened upon the right tent at the right time.
Just invaded the storerooms.
But it wasn't even a storeroom. It was like just some dude's tent, and it was unoccupied.
Going right back
He
there.
just stole his stuff.
Do it again.
Man, this
So-
group does not have a lot of luck around
And
tents,
you're going
do
there
we?
with Thea,
No, I was entrusted to carry Thea because
so
I
you've
came
got
drunk.
Thea.
Yeah, I
So
saw
you're
him
going
stumble.
there on your own.
Yeah.
She's unconscious. What are you doing?
Would you like me to take the hostage to Zaharias?
Can you get him there alive?
I do not make any promises.
No. Then I do not trust you.
He'll be alive.
I just plop him on your shoulder.
I'm gonna throw him on the ground and drag him by the feet all the way there.
Okay.
I just make this face the entire time I'm watching you.
He's just gonna be bouncing across the ground.
Yeah, for a super secret agent, you can get knocked out really easy. I do not.
Dead.
Yeah, so I'm dragging old boy to Big Bismarcky.
Okay.
Very forth. Maybe you should go with Tyros to see Zaharias.
All right. I don't know where that is. You'll be leading on.
Just follow me.
All right. Thank you again, lad.
Can I say you're welcome in Dwarvish?
Everybody speaks Dwarvish in this mug.
Giant is just big Dwarvish.
That's basically true.
All right.
He kind of like looks at you, like looks back at ours, and follows you into the
Made sense since I'm a word knight to pick Dwarvish.
Acropolis.
Mm-hmm.
Argon, what
true.
are you doing?
Touche.
Where are you heading, buddy?
I am going to put the elves down on a bed somewhere.
Yeah, I think
and
we're
it
both
is
going back
the
to
place where we
forest.
stayed
So just finding
last
them.
night.
Okay. So you kind of, a lot of you sort of dip off to the left, following Marcus towards this slightly larger than the rest of the resident tents, but still smaller than Jebediah, or geez Louise.
Shem.
Shem's,
You really
Shem's
wanted to name him
arms,
Jebediah, didn't you?
tents.
I love Jebedo.
So you guys head in there, and there's kind of these cots, probably a dozen or so on either side. Some are occupied, most are vacant. You set down Cyanidel, setting down the two of them as well. They're in company. Okay, so Sandrion gets set down, Thea gets set down amongst these like polar opposite soldiers. These just giant Greek god-looking dudes who are sitting there with holes in them, basically, from either wounds in practice or like broken wounds. You see them kind of like stinted with these wooden planks, and this large human male is kind of walking between the cots as you guys enter. He's got this like white headband around these brown shoulder-length locks that are kind of fraying. As you get the sense they've not been tended to in quite a while, and kind of also gauging that he's not been privy to sleep, probably in the past, the foreseeable past. As he kind of looks at you enter, this kind of audible sigh. Set them down on the bed there, if you would. And there's like a series of 3 empty cots. You lower them.
On the same bed?
Yes.
Just like Jenga blocks.
Yeah, Jenga stacking them. Big old Legos.
He kind of wanders over. What are we looking at here?
I believe
Gunshot wounds.
Thea was knocked out by magic.
Which one is that?
One of them
The shiny one.
Gunshot
Knocked
wound.
out. So, all right. He kind of heads back towards this large wooden table, and you see a series of vials and like raw materials. He grabs this small copper bowl and some sort of flora, kind of throwing it in there. And you see a quick snap of the finger. This small blue light kind of comes out of his fingertips on the bottom of the bowl, and you can see the plants inside begin to kind of wither and smoke as he kind of like brings it towards Thea and puts it like right under your nose. Don't breathe as thin. The rest of you, I mean. And within a few seconds, you come to this very abrupt and just a splitting headache.
Have you ever woken up in a way that wasn't an immediate jolt?
Poor girl.
Does that am I healed? or-
You're at 1 hit point.
Nice.
Probably by this time, after not being able to find any alcohol, I will.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
You just give me 1 second.
Okay.
You just give me 1 second
You
to deal
wait.
with these two.
You gonna find it.
Easy, dear. Easy.
I guess I don't. Where am I?
You're back in the camp. Your friends brought you back here.
Are you by me?
Yeah, I'm like right next to you.
I'm gonna ask you what happened.
We were able to defeat the cultists. We found Briseis and a couple of the other missing ones. They seem to be okay. They're
Briseis would be beside her.
on the beds next
Right
to
there.
you.
Still. And you see him in the similar state everyone else had. This large red bump kind of on the side of his head. And the side, like the back left side of his hair is kind of matted with thick blood. And he's relatively bruised. As the apothecary kind of like begins removing his main breastplate to kind of analyze his wounds.
What's he look like under that armor, though?
Probably like a typical middleweight UFC fighter. So, I mean, he's pretty ripped, but by no means like buff as hell.
Sure,
But
just
he's
really well
lean
maintained.
toned. Yeah,
Lean.
Yeah, like 5% body fat probably.
Say lean
That's
again.
impressive.
Yeah.
Lean. Dirty Sprite.
But I mean, there's like heavy bruising around his ribs, and some small like scarring on his left. Well, lots of scarring on his left side from both past and recent endeavors.
Is that his shield arm?
His shield is no. I believe Sandrian has
Strapped
the
to
shield.
me.
Yeah.
No, is that his shield arm? His left side?
Yes.
Doesn't use it too well then.
Is he close enough that I can kind of reach out and grab him?
Yeah. He's the cot immediately next to
and touch faith.
you. Just kind of.
Aww.
Man.
Unconscious
Unconscious for hours. First thought, wake up.
Fran.
Man, I wish
trying
I
to wake him up.
I wish I was unconscious. and Some girl grabbed my hand. That would be nice.
Be real nice.
The apothecary
That might
kind of
keep Sandra
circles Thea's cot and takes the still burning sort of incense bowl and puts it under Sandrian's face as well, who is unconscious. And again, within a sort of moment, this sharp,
I'm immediately gonna spit up blood.
yeah, and a splitting headache as well. Calm down. You're all right. You're all right.
Where are we?
Will you tend to him? And he kind of moves on to Briseis' cot back in the middle
We are back in the city in the sky.
and wakes him up in a similar fashion.
Did we win?
He sees your hand in his as he
Yes.
kind of wakes up.
As much as we could win.
Oh my god!
We found Briseis.
Hey! Knock it out again. Oh, good. Did we find anyone else? Any of
The elf and then a dwarf.
we we found the elf?
Yes.
Where is she?
That cot over there.
Is she awake yet?
He's
The
working on it.
elven lady.
She is now.
Yeah, so he's kind of making his rounds to all the unconscious people and bringing them back to consciousness.
To be awake.
To the awakenedness.
You've been woked up.
You've been wokeded.
It's a lot of
You've been
smelling
waked.
salts.
So everybody's kind of conscious at this point. And you can see the apothecary kind of return back to his station and get out this large cask of water, and he begins pouring several like large crystal cups and brings them back over to you. Here, drink some of this. I'm sure you're all in need of fluids. Not you.
I'm going to turn to Cyanidel, look at her, and say in Elvish, we need to talk later, you and me.
About what?
Just trust me.
Do I know you?
In some ways, yes.
All right. I'm
That
just
sounds
a
like
bit,
I'm one of her clients.
just a bit confused is all. I'm not sure how I ended up here.
You were captured by some bad people.
Speak up.
She was speaking Elvish this whole time.
Oh, sorry. I will not say anything.
Okay. So you would have been the only one that
Okay.
caught that.
So what did she say? I'm sorry.
She said, I'm a bit confused. I'm not sure how I ended up here.
Oh, well, in all likelihood, you were...
You see Briseis kind of reach towards one of the crystal glasses of water, and just as he like lifts it off the serving tray, his hand like fails him, and the glass falls and shatters.
I'll go over and pick up a glass for him and help him drink.
You can see a very apparent break in the humorous.
That is humorous.
That's not very funny.
Ow, kind of like lays back down. Like things start hurting once you look at him. What were you saying, Sam?
So I'll turn to her and say, well, you were likely kidnapped for nefarious purposes by some unsavory individuals. And as part of an effort, my team, my friends, and I got you out of there.
Well, thank you. For starters, and she kind of puts a hand on yours.
I'm going to blush immensely.
Okay. I owe you my life.
We'll talk about it.
Just got the consumption.
We'll talk about it a little later. A little later.
Your friend here sustained quite a beating. As the doctor kind of begins wrapping the broken arm and setting it with these large
2x4s.
sticks. Yeah, pretty much.
You need to just lay down beside us. Get some rest. I'm happy to see you're alright.
All right. And he kind of does. Still very gently nursing his shield arm. Oh.
Are you feeling okay, Thea?
Tiffany!
Tiffany.
Briseis and Batpia.
Prosciutto and bologna.
Peanut and butter.
I'm getting there.
Everyone made it out of there alive, which is more than I really expected.
Is Argon
Everyone
anywhere?
could
Is Argon anywhere close to me?
Everybody's sort of within
Probably,
a
yeah.
10-foot proximity.
I'm just this limp hand just. Argon.
Hello?
Hello, small elf. Are you alright?
Did we kill the fox?
Yes.
You fell into the well.
That's a legitimate confusion.
Sure.
Whether
He-
that killed him or not.
He fell into the swirling well of souls, I think. That is what the masked man said.
Then the price has been paid.
What?
It is finished.
What is finished?
I'm gonna pass out again.
Damn. The doctor, the apothecary kind of walks between you. Your friend has sustained very severe injuries. It's not uncommon for them to spew a bit of nonsense. I'll do what I can here. And you see this like soft blue glow kind of rippling through Sandrion's body as he's attempting to.
Is this guy's
do his best.
hand anywhere near me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab his
They're
hand.
like immediate, like right above your torso.
I'm gonna grab his hand, pull him close, and just say, "The mists, the mists," and I'm gonna pass out again.
He looks at you.
Jesus fuck.
I've never seen him do that.
I'll need some other supplies. And he walks back to his desk.
Morphing.
Crack.
Maltiak, have you ever seen Sandrion act like that?
I barely know him, to be fair.
Fair point.
I'm gonna vomit.
Jesus.
You see him
Gross.
grab this like.
Are you laying on your
Roll
side?
him on his side.
Yeah, because you're gonna die.
Let's not have a Jane. What's her name?
From Breaking Bad.
From
yeah.
Breaking Bad.
Jessica Jones from Breaking.
Yeah, Jessica Jones.
Briseis awake still.
Barely. He's awake, but not here. He's like turned over onto his opposite non-broken arm, and he's kind of wincing. So his back would be to you at this point.
Like a fever dream, but of pain.
Yeah.
Dang.
Go ahead, Thea. Be the big spoon.
Thea, thank you for all your help down there. I wouldn't still be standing if it wasn't for you.
Sorry I couldn't do more.
You did everything. Without your support, I would have been down and Argon would have been all alone, facing against that man.
What does down mean?
On the ground.
Shh.
Oh, but like in a mechanical sense.
He would have been
Like
sad.
downed?
Quiet, someone that's not in the conversation.
Get out of here, healer!
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Who are you? Stop talking to us.
That was my one. That was my one for this.
Pick him up by his collar, turn him around, set him down. You're done.
We would not have won if you had not helped us.
I know it's still tough getting used to combat. I see the way you act when we're fighting. But your impact is significant.
I hope I can do more next time.
Briseis, like, kind of at the, again, edge of consciousness, sort of rolls back over and reaches as far as he can to kind of connect with your forearm. Thank you.
Briseis casts full lay on hand.
Man, she didn't do shit, goddamn.
That's what I was thinking, but he fell asleep.
Do you think we can leave them to the care of this apothecary?
He seems qualified enough. We should see what Taurus is up to.
Make sure he does not
Executing him in the backyard.
unalive the prisoner.
You see him over there, like, just smashing this mortar and pestle of what looks to be some sort of almost beetle-looking creature. He's just... Yes. And comes back.
I'm more concerned he'll sell us out for his own gain than anything else.
That too.
I'm going to start heading
guy.
towards Zaharias' office.
Just as you're leaving, he, like, brings this beetle bowl over towards Sandrian and kind of brings, like, lifts his head up. Drink.
So I got what? A
Taste
good
red.
15, 20 minutes of alone time with Zaharias? Perfect. Like a scheme.
It tastes like the artificial coloring red.
Red dye 74.
I'm going
sure that's all
to
that.
turn to the apothecary and say, What of the deacons?
Hush.
What of the deacons?
Hush, my son. Just relax.
Just
Stop saying crazy
Nurse.
bullshit.
Nurse, more sedative.
I need a gag, nurse.
This concoction kind of lulls you back to sleep.
snakes. And I'm out.
And he heads back to
That's
Briseis
concerning.
and kind of repeats the process.
All of it's important. It just sounds insane.
As you depart, as the party is heading into the apothecary's tent and Taurus is heading into the Acropolis, you find yourself amongst the endless rows of the white parchment tents, returning to the specific hovel that you found yourself in nights ago. As you open it up, this large human who is sitting like from the supporting like rafters, almost these sort of metal rafters that are the like reinforcement of each individual tent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, wooden, not metal. He's just doing sit-ups.
Christ.
Like he's hanging and just crunching them out. And as you like open up the flap, he's kind of coming down and sees you. Again, upside down. He's like, Spider-Man kiss.
Spider-Man kiss. Spider-Man kiss.
Something you need.
Look for some drink. I think this is where I found it last time.
He kind of pulls himself up and like grabs the rafters and dismounts. Large, just built like the fucking rock. Just oiled up from all the sweat of his
You got
workout.
pants on?
A small loincloth.
Free
much.
ballin'.
How small?
It is a belt.
Thong speedo.
Nice.
He kind of looks towards you. Is that so?
Yeah. I'm clearly drunk.
Well, come on in and share another cup.
Stumble in.
You see the familiar cask that still sort of sits up on the dresser, and he pours this small wooden cup of what looks to be some sort of ale.
Aaron, he has advantage
He
on
pours another for himself.
on charisma checks to interact with drunks.
That's good. What do you call this?
He doesn't need to.
It's ale.
Hell yeah.
You should know, after all.
I didn't know if you had a fancy name for it. Then I will finish that cup and slide it back over to him and see if he pulls it up again.
Make a persuasion check. What is your name?
Uh, 16.
16.
Oh.
As he sets his own cup down and grabs yours and fills it back up. Slides it back.
They call me the Wicked Walking Man. I'll take a swig.
Glad that's
You
catching
see
on.
this, like, this smile that he started out trying to suppress because it's like, you're so full of shit, man. You're just cracked out of your mind right now.
What do they call you?
My name is Telemarcos.
Of course it is.
Jim.
Tell me, wicked walking man, how you found yourself in our camp? Are you a new recruit?
Nah, just do some jobs for the boss.
Well, that's good. I was going to say they're getting smaller and smaller.
It's not about size, it's about how you use it. Then I will smack him on the arm.
Just this slick kind of like...
Been there.
Well, you're welcome to share company in my tent anytime.
Thank you. I will finish my drink. Slide it back to him.
For another refill, make a persuasion check.
19.
19.
Oh my god.
He kind of looks like
Dude, don't
looks
mess
at
when
you
it
for a
comes to drinking.
moment. He's like, "What the hell?" Goes to grab it, and gets about a quarter of the way through the cup, and you see the
Spigot
drip-
dripping.
yeah, it
Stops
starts to
to
drip until it ultimately stops. Well, we kicked it. Hands that back.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers, yeah.
Slam it.
Was there something else I could help you with?
You got any water?
You can find fresh water in the main building.
And then I'm going to try to moonwalk out of the tent. Oh!
Nat 20.
Like Michael Jackson,
Just
baby.
bad.
This dude's confused.
He's never seen anybody like this before in his life.
He's never seen someone walk so wicked.
Yeah, this dude just walks into his tent. He's like, "You have something to drink?" Takes his drink, moonwalks out.
Michael Jackson's pronouns are he.
And now I'm gonna just find wherever the medic tent is.
Okay, so you would reconvene as they're kind of exiting Taurus.
Yeah.
You find yourself within the sandstone Acropolis walls, just outside of Zaharias' door, who is, as you kind of approach, he's sort of pacing behind his desk. You kind of see him a little bit distraught as he's sort of walking like back and forth, kind of furrowing the corners
Would
of
it have been a short rest on our way here?
Sure. Yeah, in the balloon, because it's 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes of light to no activity.
30 minutes to an hour.
30 minutes to an hour.
Okay, that's good.
Bro, I read the spell catnap, and I thought that was the most broken shit ever until I read willing, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because it's like, yeah, you put 3 creatures to sleep, they don't need to save.
So I'm outside of it, walking in.
Yep, you just see him pacing intently behind his desk, just riddled with thought.
I'll approach him and just whistle at him.
You kind of walk in. Ah, good, you're here. Where's your friends?
I'm sure they'll be arriving shortly. I'm not sure they trust me too much.
What? Seems to be going around then.
I'll throw the limp body of the dude just on the
The
ground.
cultist?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll shut the door behind us as well.
Okay. Shut the door. A gift.
We have a lot to talk about.
Indeed we do.
And I'll show him the dwarf gentleman.
Oh, the dwarf was with you as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
He followed, yeah.
me.
Gotcha. So the 3 of you are in there?
Mm-hmm.
And who might this be?
Do you not recognize him from the wanted posters?
The dwarf?
Missing poster, sorry.
Sure. Maxim? Marxis. Oh, that's right. Sorry about that. See a lot of people. Hear a lot of names.
So you have some explaining to do.
Oh, do I now? What might I elaborate on?
Well, the mutt seen leaving your quarters before we left your captain, commander, whatever.
Koenig. What about him?
He was down there, where we found the missing people.
Down where? In...
You don't...
This is the first...
Can I insight him?
Sure.
See if he's lying.
He was just about to say, this is the first I'm hearing of all of this.
14.
14. And what are you insight checking exactly?
Trying to see if this is actually the first time if he's surprised that I'm bringing up him.
He seems to not have much prior knowledge, if any.
Okay. He was below the last oasis. We found a chamber leading underground to, I guess, a cult. The people that you got that book for.
And what were they doing?
By the time we got into the main room, they sacrificed the child.
Destroy the show. He kind of rifles through a couple more papers and finds another copy of some of the missing posters. This one.
That is the one.
Son of a...
They were trying to summon something.
What?
You have the cultist as well.
Yeah,
He's still unconscious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he slept.
Um,
Summon what?
What did they say it was? Great.
Oh.
What was it?
They were calling out to a being by the name of Kyrakos.
They were trying to summon something with the name of Kyrakos. Do you know of that?
I can't say I do.
Yes, well, I'm sure if we didn't get there faster, they would have sacrificed the rest of the missing people.
Well, it sounds like it's a good thing you got there when you did.
Yes, but your involvement in this, the others will be suspicious of you.
My involvement?
They already don't trust you.
I'm failing to understand how I'm involved here. I've been up here sitting at my desk.
By association, the man that left here was
The captain?
under your command.
Wait a
They saw
minute,
him
you're
down
saying
there.
he was down there with the cultists?
He was a part of them.
Son of a bitch, what?
The mark on his neck, do you recognize it? Have you seen it?
Maybe in passing, but I never thought it was anything more than a simple
It seems to be
tattoo.
Seems to be their symbol. It was on a banister down there, and
And where's the captain now?
he's been taken care of.
Dead.
I believe so.
What does that mean, son?
Well, I'm not quite sure what happens when a body falls into a swirling pool of souls, but I would imagine he's not coming out of it anytime soon.
Well, shit. Well,
I would suggest you get as many men down there as you can to secure the place. I don't know if they have any use for it still, but whatever's down there is very powerful.
once we're done here, I'll have men moved to secure it, but it sounds like it's beyond our comprehension.
I also suggest the capture here is
He kind of looks over his desk at this still hog-tied cultist. And you do, give me an insight check.
I'm giving it to you. 18.
You definitely see a glance of familiarity as he looks towards the hostage.
I'll squint at him.
He's looking more so at the garb. He's like, this again.
You recognize him?
Just the outfit, if you will. Most of them seem to like the black and red.
Is that the one you spoke to on the boat? Do they wear something similar?
Most of them do.
That is now two things that puts you in association with him. Do you still have that book on you?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I think it best if you round up the rest of your friends and we continue this, for the sake of transparency.
I agree. I'm sure there are...
Boom, baby!
Before they get here...
He again hops over the desk.
We did not receive payment for last time.
Son of a bitch, it slipped my mind. I'm sorry, there's a ton going on. I'll pay you all when they arrive.
Very well.
So it's at about this time that you guys find yourself, the rest of you, the three of you, Aris, Argon, Maltiak, you find yourself outside Zaharias' office, which is now closed.
I knock.
Okay. A light. Grab that for me, would you?
I'll look at the dwarf. Grab that for me, would you?
What in the hell have I gotten myself into? Is he going? He looks. Oh. Kind of returns back to your side. The three of you walk in.
When I see the dwarf in Dwarvish, I'm gonna yell, "Brother!"
Kind of confused, but still jovial. He's responds. Hello.
I'm gonna come in with a little high five.
Not sure what to do. He's kind
I'm gonna
trying to follow you as best he
Randomly
can.
slapping
And I'm
hands in
right.
the air.
Then I'm looking around for a barrel that might have drink in it.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Aren't you tanked right now?
Oh, I'm getting
He's gone.
blitzed.
He's
I
fucking
got demons to suppress.
Damn it.
Nat 20.
Oh, come on.
Duke rolls nat 20s when it's alcohol related.
You don't see anything immediately in the vicinity of the room. However, a faint, sort of sweet berry smell, kind of
Where's that at?
kind of lingers
probably in my pocket.
as you enter the doorway. It was probably something in one of the halls further down the Acropolis.
I want to be part of this card.
Well, just who we wanted to see. Come on in.
Teros has you up to speed.
For the most part, but there's still plenty to talk about.
Oh, that's
He
really-
tells me the lot of you found some sort of secret society underneath the last oasis, including my Captain Commander Koenig.
Oh, yeah, he's dirty. Well, was.
Was. I assume he met his end.
Yeah, toss him in some souls.
We don't know what it actually does.
There was a weird fountain. It spun and glowed, and he fell in and didn't come out.
Well, may he find rest, I suppose, but,
Is he beaten up by this?
make an insight check.
That makes sense.
No idea.
Nope.
No
It's
fucking
not about alcohol.
No idea. You just
about
think
reading
everybody's your
person.
friend right now. Everybody's smiling at you,
Hey,
buddy.
you're right. R.I.P.
Pour one out
Um,
for him.
You wouldn't waste it.
You go to pour it out and then you just
Yeah, he like
Duke slide-
cartoon style
Duke
catches
slides
it.
underneath it.
Mom, that's not appropriate funeral behavior. You're not appropriate funeral behavior.
Well, I suppose first and foremost my thanks is required. You've done myself and my people and the city a great service. And I know it wasn't something you had to do. So let my appreciation not be lost on you all and this moment. Also, he reaches in one of his office drawers and grabs out this large, almost like cantaloupe-sized leather bag and tosses it on his desk. That's for you all. Should be 1,000 in there.
Thank you.
For this and for your work in the past.
I'm gonna open it up and start.
I will warn you. There was
Take my share.
another person there who I think will keep this going. There was a distinctive tiefling woman with metal limbs. I'm not sure how it works.
What?
But she seemed to be leading the ceremony and she vanished.
That's 142 each.
Well,
That's much better than the 0 I currently have.
Yeah,
I'm not here.
it's a lot better than the one fake gold I have.
if she's gone, there's not much I can do about it. But
I just want you to be
I'll
aware that
alert
this
my
could
men.
happen again.
Sure.
I wasn't done. I've only had 2 numbers.
That's not my problem.
14 gold. Yeah, boy's rich.
I retire from this adventuring. Sorry, what was the last thing spoken?
Let's talk about thief and woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just saying that he would keep his guard up, and Montiac said that it could possibly happen elsewhere again.
Did you find anything in her office towers?
I guess this is a perfect time to bring that up. I'm gonna pull out the map. I'm gonna just clear off his desk. It's not
Just
really.
whoa! He kind of goes to stop you. Hang on a minute, and he pulls up this like small side table from the corner of his desk.
I'm slowly pushing stuff while he's doing that.
Stop! He smacks you in the arm. Stop it! Damn it! Those are important. You're gonna unorganize everything. Just set it over there where everyone can see it.
And I'll put it down before I open it. I'm gonna look at him.
Knock all the stuff off it like a cat.
I think now is a good time for you to answer that question. Do you still have that book?
I'm gonna be real with you all, as I think you deserve nothing less. And kind of stands up and begins the same pacing motion that you found him in. And stops. Looks at the lot of you. I fucked up. The book's gone. I gave it back to the people who needed it. The people who are most likely associated with its cult. Had I not, I'd be dead right now, but I think our opportunity's not lost. However, this might just be the spear tip of something bigger. He kind of walks over to the bookshelf that he had, and you see him pull off a book that was kind of already stuck out a little bit, so it was easy to find. He kind of grabs it and pulls the bookmark out and throws this small, like, dark brown leather-bound book on the table and kind of gives it a tap. That looks similar to anybody? On the page before you is a illustration of this weird-looking sort of vortex and what looks to be some sort of schematics and less so schematics, but more like a detailed account of some sort of phenomenon. In the corner of one of the pages, you see a similar item, this small crystalline key. Not dissimilar to the one that was pulled from Cadassius's amulet in the incident of Mendontos. From what I understand, the lot of you told me this purple man was after some sort of key.
As far as we know.
I believe it to be this. The
key of MacGuffin.
The key of MacGuffin. That's pretty funny. Let me find it here.
Clever boy. Glad I'm learning all this pertinent information.
This is called the Eye of Tartarus. It's an ancient ritual, one I only heard of a long time ago. Says that he needs to acquire these 3 keys, and along with some luck, shows him where the Titans were buried. Yeah, them Titans.
What can be good?
Now again, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe this is the play.
Well, then you are just as much a part of this as we all are, and I assume you're going to help us.
I'd be remiss if I did anything else. Everything I have, every weapon, every soldier, every diplomatic advantage, I'm willing to use. Because if we can't, nothing matters if these people bring some sort of apocalyptic event on the world.
And with that, dramatically, I roll out the map. Kind of put something in each corner so it holds open.
Okay. So you kind of spread it across the clutter on the desk. You see again these two sort of highlighted circles and a tear in the map where the dagger
I'll pull out a
was.
dagger and put it right back where it was.
Okay.
Just stab this dude's table.
That's exactly where the dagger was in the other room.
You couldn't just point. This is mahogany.
This is more dramatic.
What is this?
This is the map I found on the Tiefling's table.
Of the cult.
Correct.
And what is all this?
They have interest, it seems, in the Black Coast. And I'll point to it, the circled area. And then I'll pull out the note from the dude that's trying to break into a vault.
Okay.
We have information here, a letter written from one of their men.
1 second. I have his name right here. It's from
Something
a
Kingsley.
Erithor Kingswell.
Mm.
Do you say that name?
No.
Okay.
It's too much.
Okay.
Tars doesn't care.
Okay. All right, but are you like brandishing this paper? Like
Yeah,
you're giving
I'm
it to him?
putting it on the table on
Okay.
the mat so everyone can see it.
Okay.
They're trying to get in a vault, it seems, and that was in the Black Coast, correct?
That was in the Attic Hills.
Attic Hills.
That's where the dagger is.
Okay.
And you would see this at that point, Argon, that there's a dagger in your homeland.
I'll look at you. I don't think you've ever told me anything
No.
about this, so
Just multi.
I'm gonna
You see despair.
Okay. Do you recognize this place?
It is home. Was.
Do you know of and I'll pick it up and read it, a vault of some kind?
We did not have such things.
Let me see.
I'm just gonna put my hand on Archon's shoulder.
Sure. Zaharias is just kind of scanning the documentation, this sort of detailed report.
If there are 3 keys and Cadassius had one, who else would be entrusted with something that powerful?
He kind of puts down the report and looks back towards the book. The passage here says they were entrusted by the gods to their offspring. Lord knows who that was, but
The demigods are pretty well known, are they not?
some more than others.
From what I hear, Zeus gets around a lot.
It'd be like finding a needle in a haystack.
Or in a stack of needles.
Yeah?
Well, we know at least that they're looking for something in the Black Coast and something in your homeland.
I do not understand. There's nothing they would want like that. We don't have keys, we don't have vaults. We don't have any of this blasted magic nonsense. We're a tribe.
There's nothing special about your area. An advantage.
There has to be something special, Argon. Your ancestral powers that you have in combat.
I'm gonna put my sword onto the table. They said something about this metal that you guys did not recognize, but we all bear weapons of it. Well, it's very weirdly resonant. That is all we have. Aside from an ancestral grounds.
That seems like it's not exactly naturally occurring.
It has been there since we came from the ground.
But it's readily available in the hills. No. You've got mines dedicated.
Yes?
Perhaps they found the vault
Something
in one of
else.
those mines?
But what's inside it?
I don't think they even know that yet.
If they didn't know, they wouldn't be there.
Well, if they're interested in it, I think by default so are we.
I agree. He kind of looks towards the map again. The third point of interest was the magical province of Malistar. And what do they want with the mage? The magic territory.
Probably just that. Some sort of magic.
I can barely decipher anything of their motives. But if we have 3 locations, there's only one that we know well. Malistar's a large area to cover. Black Coast is not going to be easy to live through, but
Oh, it
Argon
is.
knows Attic Hills.
I'm familiar with the Black Coast. It is covered with pirates.
That would have been one of the areas you frequented most
Mhm.
in your past.
On
I think our best bet is probably to go to your homeland first,
If you think you can stomach it.
and then we go to the Black Coast, covering both places that we are familiar with.
I set out to come back strong enough to retake, but if I am not coming back alone, perhaps it is destiny that I was to bring others with me. Maybe it is not the strength of myself, but is the strength that I carry with others. Maybe that is what my ancestors are trying to tell me. I am not alone.
I can't give you any more inspiration.
I'm getting literal goosebumps.
I can't give you any more
fucking
inspiration.
Chills, man.
Bro, throw him some inspiration then.
Give him the high roll.
Yeah?
Yeah, give him the high roll.
Yeah, that's worth
I
it.
can't give him any more inspiration.
I kind of forget it exists sometimes. Alec, or Argon, should I say, may I bestow upon you the highest honor that I can.
Everybody looking at you get blinded.
The High Roller. There you are, sir.
on
Congratulations on your promotion.
on this map is the area
Okay.
that my monastery was at. Would it been on this map? Not like circled or anything, but would it
Just
have been on
crossed
this
out.
map?
There may have been mention. Actually, yeah, it would have been kind of X'd over.
It is. There is a. Okay, the entire. Ever since that map came out, I'm just 1,000 yards staring,
Sure.
looking right at it.
There would also be a big X over Mendontos and the pretty much the entirety of the Draconora. Just a large red X going through the barbarian homeland.
It
So-
seems like whatever they're up to, they've made lots of progress.
We don't have much time. I would much rather just leave and call it a day, but I'm not sure how much time I would have left if
Speaking of time,
Titans were roaming.
that book that I gave them, the book that you transcribed, you got to look at most of its contents. You still have a copy of it, right?
I have a photographic memory of it. Tell the party to keep it down next door.
Sorry.
Just smash onto the wall. Shut up.
Eldritch blast a hole in it.
Alright, cool, he's changing stuff.
What did you say? You have a photographic memory?
Yeah.
If I remember... Oh, no, I couldn't read it. Do you remember how long the timeline was for that ritual?
What do you mean?
He said we're out of time. That might not be the case. If this is something as complex as bringing the primordial shapers of the world back to life,
They,
I imagine that's something that doesn't happen overnight.
Josh, do I remember,
You,
Well, I do remember, but
you,
I do not.
Taurus would remember. There isn't a specific like casting time. Like you can cast a spell in 1 hour. It will do the thing.
It just has to meet.
It is a sort of amplifying radius of area. So the more area you cover, the longer the spell takes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So basically the more elaborate thing you're trying to wind back time, the further back you're trying to go,
Okay.
the longer it takes. So there's a correlation, but there's not a definitive like schedule or recipe, if you will.
The timeline on it depends on exactly what they intend to accomplish. If they are trying to cover lots of ground and use this time magic, it will take them a very long time.
That gives us a little bit of leeway, perhaps. Because they can't start until they get those keys. Granted, they don't have all three of them already. That might have been the last one, as far as we know.
Well, these two are still circled. They're not crossed off just yet.
So you're thinking maybe one of them is there.
I think so, and if the dagger is still in your homeland, perhaps that is where they're sieging currently.
The plan of attack.
The place they go next.
Makes sense.
I think our likely bet is to meet them head on there. I doubt they put all of their men there. They're probably spread thin, covering multiple points right now.
I wouldn't be too sure about the spread thinness. Zaharias boasted about his ranks multiple times. Seems many are in liege with him.
Well, we have faced them and we were outnumbered. And here we are.
Can you tell us
And
more
now we
about-
have your men as well.
Can you tell us anything more about Zaharias?
What do you want to know?
What's he look like?
I never got a good look at him. I think he might be elven. He mostly wore a hood and stayed in the shadows.
We need to know who the players are here. We know the tiefling woman. We know Zaharias.
He kind of gets out this blank notepad and kind of starts jotting down these names as you're going across them. So, we got the purple guy. He writes him down. Zaharias, tiefling lady. Anyone else?
Kyrikos, whoever that may be.
Purple guy, right?
Ericos is dead. That's
No,
Wolf Boy.
That's Kanae.
Kanaik was the captain commander.
Oh, Kyrikos is what they were summoning.
Captain
Yeah.
Commander Kane.
We don't officially know who Kyrikos is.
Right.
Heard the name though.
I think Kyrikos is probably deity more than a person.
Yeah, because it sounded like
They're
they were summoning
summoning
it, not
Deity
that they
or
were,
daemon.
Yeah. Write that down. Write that down.
Except for all that summoning demons I can do.
So while he's writing, I'll just gauge the room. Is this where we want to go next?
I think it's the best option.
I'm not here.
You will have to take lead on this.
To lead enough strength back to take my homeland. That is the highest honor I can find in this realm.
Is there any way you can spare a few men?
Or release of supplies.
Most of my men are busy mobilizing to Mendantos. We still have to secure it. I can't offer much in the way of troops, but
What about
supplies or transport I can provide.
Could we get a balloon there? Or
I
whatever
might-
you call it.
I might have something a little better.
Airship?
We'll talk to Shem about that.
Yes, I've been needing to talk to him.
Well, is there anything else I can help with? Where are the rest of your allies?
Being treated for their wounds
Oh.
currently.
They didn't fall in battle. That's good. Die, I mean.
Yes.
They didn't die.
We understood.
Oh,
I'm going to draw out the symbol we saw on the door.
the comet
Mm-hmm.
star thing. Okay.
If Kanaik was involved in your nose, you're gonna have to keep a closer eye on the troops.
I will do my best, but it seems this is something that doesn't easily get snuffed out.
Keep an eye out for any of your men with that marking.
We'll double our patrol and we'll keep an eye out, but as I said, my men are spread thin. We'll do the best we can, and I'm sorry that you had to be the ones to take this down.
How are the others doing with the healing? Is it going slow?
The apothecary put them back to sleep to give them some rest.
Do you have a better healer here? We don't have much time, and I would assume we'd want to make way as fast as possible. If we can get them fully healed faster and a night's rest, we could be able to leave in the morning.
Well, Agasilas is the best apothecary I've got, but I can see you're more than welcome to tell him I authorized any sort of expedited recovery. He's normally pretty good at what he does, though. He treats Akaros' finest.
Then our departure time will be based on his skills and their recovery.
Very well.
I appreciate you being candid with us.
I think I should have done that from the beginning. I apologize I hadn't. We wouldn't be in this situation if I'd, well,
All we can do now is fix it.
or die trying.
A man truly grows when he can look back upon his former actions and feel shame for what he has done. You have come to us. You have spoken to us through truth. You have my respect.
We owe it to too many people. Those people in Medontos that fell, the people here that are now being terrorized by spooky cults and stuff, and now these other attacks. We'll find out who's at the bottom of it, and we'll move forward.
I'm gonna go check on our friends, make sure they're doing all right.
I'm gonna go speak to, what was his name? Jebediah?
Shem?
Shem.
Or the apothecary?
Shem.
Shem. Jebediah.
I miss him.
As they all start to walk out, I will still be standing there looking at the thing, and I will kind of, not under my breath, but kind of quietly, what do you know of the open hand?
Were you asking that directly to Zaharias?
I'm still, that is where the question is directed, but I'm
Okay.
Kind of
just kind of
speaking
out of
it at
Sure.
him.
Yeah.
Say it again.
What do you know of the open hand?
I don't know much. I know they were damn good fighters. Even better than mine. It was a sad day to find out that their order had been wiped out. We could have used them in Medontos.
When you say that, I'll, he sharply looks at Zaharias.
And you do get this sort of sorrowful, empathetic look on his face. As he's kind of connecting the dots and gathering that you were...
How do you know they fell?
Son, I'm the biggest military political player in the realm. I hear a lot of things.
Who attacked them?
From what I understood, nobody. All I heard is it went up in flames.
Bullshit. And then I'm gonna walk out.
Before Taurus and I part ways, I'm just gonna put my hand on his shoulder and pull him aside for a sec. I was gonna push you against the wall. Oh fuck.
Kiss him.
I know you were cold and calculating, and I did not agree with your methods. But you are powerful and an asset to this party, so I will work with you. But if you take things too far, I will take it upon myself to set it right. Do we understand?
I will welcome your attempts.
As will I. Now keep walking.
Okay. So you head out. And just as you're kind of exiting, you see Zaharias take his quill that he was kind of writing notes of the names, and on the map he circles the monastery as kind of a POI. Point of interest.
Proof of income? Oh, sorry.
That's it. Okay, so everybody's leaving,
Making my way downtown.
making your way to Shem boy.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up? Okay.
What are you doing? Going with you guys.
Ooh. Are you going with me or them? We're splitting up.
Where are you guys?
I'm going to the apothecary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wrong one.
Okay, good.
Okay. Argon, you're heading apothecary. So you're heading to Shem.
Sure am.
Shim.
We'll do that first.
Yeah.
So you head towards this gargantuan white tent, and you find yourself on the inside. Shem is kind of buried underneath these stacks of hundreds of those arrow-catching shields.
But before I enter the tent, I'm going to take a deep breath.
Sure.
And kind of get myself ready to
Deal with it.
to play the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So you do so after a deep breath and a quick sigh out. You head in, and again, he's kind of shifting 3 of them at a time, just kind of stacking them on top of one another. But that seems to be the job of the day, if you will.
Shem, you handsome devil, what are you doing?
Ah, Mask Boy. I'm
Taros.
moving some of these. You want to help?
How many does he have to move?
There's probably another 200 or 300. Come on. Don't just stand there. We can work and talk.
I'll start very reluctantly just tossing shields across the room.
There's like this kind of wagon that's being loaded up with them, and he's just kind of throwing them up.
I'm gonna take one and set it aside. This is payment for one of our missions. You can talk to Zaharias about it.
Very well. Was that cleared, or is that a lie?
No,
That's legit. Cool.
We said we were gonna take a shield.
All right. Sure. What brings you back?
Bogo.
Never should have come here.
We are about to embark on a very dangerous trip. I have a few needs of you.
He kind of stops and wipes the sweat from his brow. What might that be?
One, Zaharias said you might have some transport we could take.
You see him like get visibly excited. It's time.
We also need whatever supplies you can spare. That grenade you gave me.
Ah, you used it.
Not grenade. That. What should I call? What would I call it?
Orb.
Explosive. Yeah, orb, sphere,
Orb.
something like that.
Pondering the orb.
That
I would
orb
think you
you
would-
gave me. Are you ready to hear my report on it?
Of course. He like scrambles towards his main like sort of central desk, and you see him grab this this folder of like papers, and he sifts through them for a little bit, and grabs it out. You see him extend the lenses, and you see these big like bug eyes look back up to you. Go ahead.
As I'm describing this, you're going to see my eyes kind of light up with a little bit of excitement,
Okay.
maybe joy. And I'll say, it was beautiful.
Ooh.
I threw it and they disintegrated.
Oh, very good. How many?
3.
You got 3 in one swoop.
One throw.
My goodness.
Smacked him in the face.
Amazing. Now, how far did it travel, the flame?
Maybe only 5 feet.
Oh. So perhaps more Jadari powder in there. That might do the trick. Bit of phoenix feather, that might extend it as well. But the initial explosion, it was beautiful.
Something I've never seen before.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Yes. I'll make the necessary changes and we'll deploy them as soon as we're able.
Any other tests you need ran on anything else? This is a perfect time. I expect a lot of combat.
I can't imagine There's nothing I'm currently... Just the shields here, but you're more than welcome. Obviously, you've helped yourself to those. And you kind of look like you're... As you're asking the question, you're kind of giving a look to the desk, and still sitting on top of most of the scattered papers is a device similar to the one Kaenik wielded. The short kind of revolver and arm brace type deal that went along with it. Nothing I can think of at the moment.
What about that over there?
That's merely a prototype. The captain commander, of course, he wielded the final project.
So his was the completed version of that one.
Indeed. Now this one still functions, of course, but there are some slight kinks I never had time to work out. Meh.
Do you have any armor?
Nothing aside from the standard, the shields you're looking at, but the standard Jadari armor, but you are too small. I could perhaps tailor one. Of course, I would need such an expense approved by Zaharias, but perhaps that is something we could do.
Speak to him about that.
Indeed.
I'm sure he'll clear it. I'm going to take that prototype
The what? You kind of walk over to the desk and begin examining it.
Pick it up. What was the problem with this?
Arcane flares for the most part, but she's mostly stable.
You have until tomorrow to fix it.
But it's been years, and I have all of this to sort of ship out, and well, if the vessel needs preparation as well, that will. I'll do what I can, of course, but don't hurt me if it's not perfect.
I will not be the one using it.
What?
I do not need something to fire magic. I have my hands.
Very well. I'll do what I can.
Thank you. And I'll set a bottle of wine that I snagged from the at last oasis.
Arish just comes scuttling in.
Bow staff at the ready.
a gift from for our newly found partnership.
Ah, very good. Grab that stack over there now.
How long am I gonna be here?
As long as you.
I move like 3 more.
Sure.
Pick up the shield that I took and
Okay.
tell them I'll see him in the
Mosey
morning.
on out.
I just realized Duke is the Kung Fu Panda of alcohol.
So the rest of you return to the apothecary's tent, and to your surprise, all of your friends, for the most part, are lucid. Most of their wounds have while not completely disappeared, they have definitely been minimalized, as you see them all kind of coming to, and the doctor's like undoing the bandaging of the splint, and just taking care of any last minute actions before discharge.
Going to walk over and stand between the bed, between Perseus and Thea.
Okay. Ours.
Cock block.
He kind of gives you a pat on the lower back. How are you?
I'm glad we found you, Perseus.
I am too.
And then when I'll look over towards Maltiak and Argon, and when Perseus goes to look that way to follow my gaze, I'm going to quickly turn to Thea,
Okay.
and I'll put my hand on her shoulder. Do what you can to never lose him.
Aww.
Maltiak. Argon.
Are you feeling better?
I am. He kind of like goes to step out of bed.
Maybe you should lay down.
I'm all right. He steps up and kind of gives you a hug. Most of his body weight kind of falling into you.
Hey!
And you can see like a small tear kind of coming out of his eye as he... Thank you,
Of course.
both of you.
I'm happy to see you up.
How are you feeling, Sondrian?
Not great.
That's understandable. It's been a long day for all of us. Yeah, but it seems like we have some direction at least.
To what?
What do you mean?
When we were down there was an office that the dwarf pointed us towards. Tyrus Naros searched it and found the map.
Oh.
And Zaharias believes that this cult is related to what happened to Mendantos. And one of the sections on that map circled was Argon's homeland.
They had driven a knife into it on the map, as if that was where they were going next. We have a chance to head them off and stop them.
Am I in the room right now? Am I making my way back?
I don't think
It's
you're
probably happening while you're up there talking to Shin.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
So they
That's yours, baby.
sieged your homeland. I'm saddened I won't see it.
Why not?
We'll talk in the morning.
What time of day is it by now?
You guys set out towards the mainland at about first light. Probably investigated for a few hours. The whole escapade down below. It is probably mid-afternoon. 2, 3 o'clock.
God damn it.
It's nighttime.
We need to prepare. We will be gone at first light, I assume.
As long as our travel is ready. It's only midday, but I feel like it's the middle of the night. I'm exhausted.
Fighting wears on you, as it does me.
It's more than that. Everything in this day went in the worst possible way. Except for finding our friends still alive. There's so many things I would have done differently if we had the chance, but...
We are not the architects of fate. We simply act, and it responds.
Even so, I hope to build a better way forward.
I need a nap. I'm going to go find a bed. I would advise many of you do the same.
Precise, let me help you back to your room, get you on a real bed.
I'm fine, truly. Sondrion, is that my shield?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure nobody would take it.
Kind of smiles and thank you.
Of
And as he
course.
takes it, he kind of like pats you on the hand. Truly, thank you. I've frankly done enough sleeping for one afternoon. I'm not sure this is the time, but perhaps would some of you like to spar? If not, I'm sure I could find one of the
If you're up for it, I'll...
local troops.
I have matters to attend to with Zion and Del here.
Very well.
I'll spar with you.
I just want to make sure I can move still.
I'm just gonna break his fucking arm again.
Dies. Very well. Anything else anybody wants to do? Taurus?
Yeah,
Ours.
I have a gift for fucking Bussius.
Are just Maltiak and Bussius walking out of the tent now?
Yeah, I mean, unless the rest of you guys are staying.
I'm trying to ambush them
follow.
before they leave.
I'm walking with
Versus-
Cyanodel back to my room.
Oh,
I told you I had business to attend to.
Taking a stripper back to the room. No,
so are they healed up for the most part?
everybody's pretty much good.
Bones are healed.
The three of us have 2 levels of exhaustion, but
That's fine.
from being pretty much clapped up.
It's not me.
Don't worry.
So the 2 of you, the Briseis, Maltiak, Thea, as you kind of exit the tent, Briseis kind of checks back and waits for you, and as you're walking back, kind of gives you a little hug. I missed you, friend. Thank you for finding me.
Where were you? What? Where were you?
What?
Where were you?
Oh. I don't know. I went out for a walk, and this is all kind of why you guys are in transit. Something struck me in the side of the head, and next thing I know, I woke up with you all.
And you have no idea who hit you.
No. It smelled of piss, but that was all I sort of gathered.
Interesting.
Why were you out alone?
I couldn't I couldn't sleep, is all. I just wanted to walk around. What?
No, it's fine. I'll make sure you never go anywhere. Sorry. Sorry. Don't go anywhere alone. Again.
I don't plan to for the foreseeable future.
I'm not leaving your side. Thought I lost you.
Nor I. So the 3 of you kind of walk off towards the extent of the edge of the training ground. And you see Briseis very like haphazardly strapping the shield to his arm. Oh, it's heavier than I recall. All right, let's go slow.
Tell you what, both of you are pretty beat up. Why not both 2 against 1?
You're on?
All right. So you guys go at it. You two were doing things.
I was on my way back to the tent to talk to Briseis.
Oh,
But I can just meet them at the sparring pit then on my way there.
well, the apothecary tent?
Yeah.
He was there. What did you want to say to him?
I wasn't there while they were there.
He
Oh,
was
I
hadn't
hear
been
ya.
there yet.
So you're catching them just as they're kind of exiting to go towards the training ground. You see Briseis, Thea, and Maltiak.
Briseis,
Taros!
good to see you up and well.
And you! He kind of steps forward for a hug, and you see him.
My hand goes up.
You kind
Not like I'm gonna blast him, but just like, we're just like,
nice try, fuck! He kind of goes for a hug and like automatically checks himself. It's good to see you, friend.
I have something for you.
Well, hopefully not.
Pull out the shield and like kind of set it in the ground while I'm holding it.
Oh, the arrow catching shield.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and what is this? And he kind of picks it up.
I hope you're not too fond of your shield.
I mean, it matches my outfit.
This is amazing, truly. But I actually am quite attached to it. It's silly, but in the pits, I was told it was left for me by my father. It's the only thing I have of my life.
Well, then I guess you could gift it to Thea.
Let it not go unappreciated. Truly, the gesture is well received.
It is merely to get you ready for the battles to come.
I could wear it on my back,
Turtle man.
I'm not sure.
like a turtle.
You could. You could give it to Thea, whatever you want to do.
Thea, do you want this? He kind of turns around and holds up this giant, like, green shield.
Are you still here?
Yes.
I'm okay, thank you.
Are you sure? It glows.
It deflects arrows.
and he clicks it, and they kind of...
One of you is taking the shield. I don't care if you're wearing it on your back or using it.
It is neat.
I am. No.
He sets it back in the sand. Why don't you use it?
I don't need a shield. Wear it on your back. That's fine.
All right.
Fuck me.
I'm not sure the DM is going to like this, but... Puts it on his back.
Ahuna?
Maltiak, they should get some rest. I think, what was his fucking name?
Who?
Shem?
Shem.
Shem.
Shem is getting our transport ready for tomorrow, I believe, along with some other supplies.
They're just making sure all their joints still work.
How beat up are they still?
2 levels of
Like,
Briseis is still
Could
visibly
could
bruised.
I cast a healing spell to help him out? Or would it be just
You could.
for lore-wise?
I mean, everybody's going to rest in a bit. So,
Okay.
but yeah, you could do it.
Back him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find a nice little secluded spot to meditate.
Okay. You do so. You kind of return to the baths that you found yourself in the same morning, and it's empty, kind of still steaming, and you just kind of close your eyes and head to your own consciousness. Yeah. Argon, what are you doing, my friend?
Is Shem the one that's readying whatever boat is?
That was what Zaharias told you.
I need to speak with him.
Okay. You would know where to find him in his sort of tent. And as you sort of enter in, you see him still moving these
Almost step on him as I walk in.
of the same arrow catching shields that you saw days ago.
Hello, small one.
Ah! Hello!
Are you in charge of our transport for tomorrow?
Ah! And again, becoming visibly excited at the sheer mention of it. Yes!
And just kind of kneel down to like be on his level a little bit.
Still double his height.
Yeah, a little closer, so you can hear me. Are you in charge of what goes on this ship?
What do you mean?
I need some leather to be put on the ship.
Oh, for what?
The small folk I'm traveling with.
Yeah,
It will be cold. They will not be used to it.
very well.
It is unbearably hot down here.
Yes, I can. We can provide coverage for you all. Some longer garments.
And what is this vehicle? I have not heard anything of it.
Nor should anyone have ever. This shall be my Gabbadagook. This is my legacy. This is what I will leave behind to Theris to change the world. Come. And he sets down like the stack of shields he was moving and takes one of your fingers and starts like leading you outside of the tent.
It's a Ford F-150.
Tesla truck.
Yeah.
Yo, Cybertruck!
As you head basically 5-10 minutes or so past the training Nefriti guards who have definitely dropped in number. There are fewer training now out in the actual like training grounds, and most are kind of
Many have been deployed, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
exactly. So you head basically to the opposite side of the training yard. And again, after about 5-10 minutes of walking or so, you find yourself on a similar landing platform as the one you guys took to the mainland. However, adorning this docking station lies a single ship-like vessel, like one you would typically find in the water, like a galleon ship. On the top side, there are large sails, again, very similar to your typical boat. However, on the bottom are these large, almost exhaust pipe-looking constructs on either side of the backmost side of the ship. And just littered on the inside of these exhaust pipes, there are large, like, Jadari shards. Basically, the raw shards that you guys took. They're just kind of, like...
Shoved in
Yeah,
there.
just jammed in there. I call it the boat balloon.
I don't see any water.
It doesn't sail, it floats.
They all float down here.
Like the balloons.
Correct. You will take to the skies the first ever voyage across the clouds. Roll
Have you named the ship?
It's the boat balloon.
But I meant, have you gifted it a name?
Oh, no, I wanted to save that for its first passengers.
We all know what it's gonna be called.
We're all
We're all on the same page.
yeah. We've done
I
this
can
before.
do the meme answer, or I can do a meaningful answer.
We still got
And
time.
I'm really thinking
Once-
about which one I
once-
want to use.
Once the group gets back. But this is her. I've spent most of my life here, building it.
Giant hand, tiny shoulder. It is quite the creation.
Wait till you see her in the skies.
A beautiful airship.
If she floats. But she should.
If
You know, it's a first flight. But
have you actually turned it on?
yes,
And did it float?
yes,
Can I insight check that?
yes.
I believe him.
Should use the high roller.
Cool. Yes.
It is an interesting design. I do not know much about normal boats, but a sky boat.
I hope to see them all over the world someday.
Perhaps. It is very... what do you call it? Cool.
Yes. Forever they will sing tales of Shem Shepen who filled the air with boats.
Shem what?
Shem
Sheppen.
Sheppen.
You want to give me a history check?
Are you here?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Personally?
Mm-hmm.
Am I here?
Are you here?
Just do it.
Make a history check.
Trust me, you'll enjoy this.
Not if you fail.
It's a net 1. I'm gonna give it to you anyway.
6. That's enough. DC was -3.
Well, you would know the Sheppen name. The Sheppen line goes back quite a bit in the gnomish bloodlines to a particular land in Siwa.
That's a boy. It's his brother. His brother.
That's his brother.
I never knew Jebediah's name.
God damn it.
Is that why you keep almost calling him that?
Yes, because I was like,
Very
oh,
good.
it's the same guy. Anyway,
That's
so
so funny.
that's a little bit of lore, a little bit of
Little
background.
deep
That
lore.
one's
That's
for
right.
us.
That's a deep dive. That's for them boys. Anything else?
I was like,
He's just
Survivor
beaming
Yeah,
about
just kind
this
of
ship,
looking at it. Yeah,
and I will be supportive but confused
Just
as
like-
like it's a boat
we're gonna die.
in the sky.
Right. With that, we return to the apothecary tent, where we find Sandrion and Cyanidel. What would you like to do, my friend?
Cyanidel, you were previously employed, currently employed? Employed by
You do.
in the services of women of the evening?
I was a prostitute, yes.
Oh boy. Why?
Well, I don't know. I thought I enjoyed it, and then it sort of became second nature to, well, make ends meet, I suppose. Of course, no little girl dreams of growing up to, that.
Well, I would hope not. Listen, do you want to do something else with your life?
If an opportunity presented itself, sure.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever grow up hearing any sort of elvish folk tales of our people?
Not many. I wasn't raised in a traditional household.
Daddy issues.
It was just my mother and I.
Lack of daddy
But-
issues.
I never knew my father.
But my wet nurse, she would tell me stories every now and then to try and scare me straight. Never did.
Did you ever hear about the creeping mists and the sword of the last crescent?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't say I haven't. I have, rather.
Ancient elven prophecy dictates that somebody will wield the sword of the last crescent, complete its runes, and defeat the mists rolling into the forests of the land with. Legend also states that particular savior will have a servant at his left, a servant at his right. I'm offering you the seat on the left.
You're the...
Pull the sword, stab it right into the ground. I'm that guy.
Make a persuasion check.
Disadvantage because I'm tired.
Because you're ugly.
Welcome to the show.
11.
11. What would that entail exactly? I don't have much experience ruling.
You wouldn't need it. Just know that what I do out of the greatest kind of love that a person can offer.
Well.
And that this is, without a doubt, the purest form of self-redemption I can give you.
And she kind of puts her hand on yours again and just says, "It can't be worse than what I'm going through here."
Into that.
In traditional elven custom, I will take her hand, her left hand,
Lop it off.
and simply kiss it and do a very polite bow.
Just as you go to kind of bow, you hear her go as she spits at your
Ah!
Full circle.
I'll smile. I'll say, but I can use your help in one thing at the moment.
feet. Name it.
I need to call out for my right hand.
All right. Okay.
We're just gonna sit. We're gonna find a small secluded area. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna say, do you speak any celestial?
Can't say I do, love.
All right, then I'll do the talking.
All right.
In this big, gaudy display, I'm going to essentially hold the sword up in sort of a... Sorry, mic's right here. I'll hold the sword up in sort of this great offering as sort of a, my time now is at its end. And I must take care of my debts. Only my right hand can satisfy these debts. Grant to me Sindelian. And that's it. That's the whole thing.
She just kind of sits there for the length of the dialogue, the monologue, and when you stop speaking, is kind of, we did it.
Yay. Yeah, he'll be here in like 3 to 5 business days.
Not quick.
We're leaving tomorrow.
He will,
Should've
He
got
ships through
express
FedEx
shipping.
ground, actually.
Oh god.
if my call is heard, Sindelian will be here 4 hours from now.
Wow.
Do you have a watch on?
Nope.
Nope.
Sundial. Giant fucking sundial.
Because he did
I pull out the sundial, it crushes your foot. It's cloudy. Or inside. But no, I'll just say to her, hey, do you want to do anything for 4 hours?
Hey, you.
Nope.
I thought when you said there's one thing I need you for, I thought you were about to say.
No!
Quite honestly, I think I'd rather just enjoy the fresh air.
You want to enjoy the view over there?
Yeah.
That sounds great. I will make a slight attempt to hold her hand.
Okay. She receives it, and interlocked with your fingers.
Waffle.
You head towards the edge of the landing pad, and the two of you kind of just sit with your legs off the edge of the floating aisle. Anything else?
No, Sindelian's been called.
Okay.
Got the girl.
Okay.
I assume Sandrion is kicking his feet.
Yeah.
Can't help it, man. It's just so
a
comfy.
happy little guy.
I left something out and I need to retcon something.
Uh-oh.
I shoot Sandrian on the fucking
Oh.
head.
Oh, I forgot.
Spartan kick him off.
For the
When
fun.
I was talking to Gibido 2.0 about
Shem?
when I was telling him like to have it fixed, I also should have told him to up the size of it to make it bigger.
That's a big ask. His response would have been the same. He'll do what he can.
Thanks.
Okay.
Which is nothing.
Nothing.
So with a lot of you sparring, enjoying the view, weeping? No, meditating.
Crying.
Probably.
Little column A, little column B. It goes both ways.
And otherwise inspecting the vessel of proposed transportation. It's there. Then we will end today's session. Thanks as always for coming out and hanging out with us. Hope you're enjoying the story as much as we are. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe.
Tune in.
Hit that notification bell down
hit
below.
the notification bell.
Tune in. Same D&D time. Same D&D channel.
Those words.
Leave a comment on what you want me to drink.
It's just gonna be water, 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 water.
In real life.
And we'll see you next week. We'll see you next Saturday.
Yeah.
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 I think that's it, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming as always. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.